So here I am, back with the Honda XL 350 engine, the one that was making all the smoke and using all the oil. And you can see clearly there, that is a new, or very new looking piston with, hopefully you might just see it there somewhere on that side, it's got Honda on it. Okay, so I think that's a genuine, fairly new Honda piston that was complete with rings which gapped up very nicely in the cylinder bore, which I've got here, which was relinered back to standard because there was a little bit of pitting and corrosion in it. So all that is okay. The piston rings gapped up very nicely in it, but in spite of all that, I'm fitting new valve guide seals and all that sort of stuff. The engine still smoked like a destroyer. Now here's the compression ring that was in it. You can see there it is, look at that, have a look at the gap there, and I believe that that's probably a genuine Honda piston ring that came off what is obviously a genuine Honda piston. We've got a new set of rings here, and just for the sake of knowing that we were fitting a new set of piston rings to rule them out as the culprits, I asked the owner if he could get a set of piston rings, which he did, and here they are. And I can just put this one in here. Here's the compression ring again. Bear with me. Right, there it goes. The gaps in the new piston rings in the bore are bigger than the old ones, but they're brand new, and according to what it says on the box, there we are, Honda XL 350. You've got the dimensions there, make and model, bore 79mm, I presume that is, type, size, standard. Okay, you even got the part number there. But like I say, the old rings seem to sort of have smaller gaps when placed in the bore than the new ones, and that goes for the compression rings, the second rings, and the oil ring rails themselves, the oil ring segments. There's the second compression ring of what we'll call the old set. Not that I think they're very old, to look at that gap there. And I'll get the second ring from the new set. Once again, look at that, you could just about drive a bus through that compared with the old rings. Like I say, the oil rings are doing the same, but the saving grace of the new rings may well be here. Here's the old oil rings expander segment, and it looks very, very much like, to me, that someone has snipped that end off there. Perhaps they've had a bit of a struggle getting the oil rings compressed to go in the bore, and decided that, oh, we'll just snip a little bit of that off there to make it more easy. And then of course the oil rings have gone into the bore nice and easily, but they haven't been able to do their job, because when this has been in place, it's closed up like this. See that overlap there? Now that would never be able to, that wouldn't be possible if there were another little bit sticking up like there is on the other end. They would just simply butt together and come to a stop. But that allows for one to tuck under the other, and you lose a good 4 or 5 millimeters of circumference, including or plus what's probably been snipped off. So my plan is, and I've spoken to the owner about this as well, my gut feeling, and if it were my bike I'd do it, and this is what I think I am going to do, is I'm going to put all the, shall we say, old rings back in that have the smaller gaps when you put them in the bore, but I'm going to use the new expander, which is unmolested, and I certainly won't be cutting a bit off it. And I think we'll get a lot more radial pressure on the bore from the oil scraper ring segments, and that'll probably be an end to the smoke. And probably just to sort of finally demonstrate it here, here's one of the new oil ring rails, and that just literally, I can just sort of like put that in, you just about blow that in. There's the gap in that one. And of course these rely on that expander ring there to do their job. Here's one of the old ones again, which I think I'll be reusing. Bear with me. Right. Put that in the bore. It's actually a little bit more resistance there going into the bore than the new ones, and also the gap is smaller, as has been the case with all the other rings. So I think we're going to use the old rings with the new expander ring, put it all back together, and if it smokes after that, I'm going into hiding.